Why, hello there, everybody. How's it going? We're at Captain Bill's in Wilmington. It's a volleyball night. There are even pregnant women playing volleyball here. Like 6 or 7 months pregnant. Pretty amazing. We're in between games, and we're going to do a stock market update for everyone today. Interesting day in the market, and I had someone come in and request information about this Google Sheet, Google Access to this Google Sheet file, where there's Google Finance formulas that pull stock information daily. It's the tool that I use when I do options trading, and I look at as things fluctuate and what kind of target prices that I have researched when I looked at their financials and overwhelming trends of what's going on. Historically, these are the target prices over the next quarter for most of the time is what these prices are. And so as we you can get access to this file. This is free for everyone to look at. You can see how I record notes and everything on different stocks. But as for today, one thing that I noticed, and one thing that you can look at in this file that's kind of interesting, is you look at this day change. This is the movement just for today. And we sort that from Z to A, and it's going to show you the companies that had the largest gains throughout the day. And something like 66% here. Notice I have notes on all these companies that are kind of like stay away from all these basically. And that means I've reviewed them previously, and a lot of them are smaller caps, and also a lot of these are actually terrible companies that I would never invest in. A lot of junk, and like Cinemark, IMAX, things that are supposedly, ending COVID, coming back to the future economy. It's not what the economy is going to be in the future. So when I see a lot of money being dumped into these type of companies on a Monday, after a pretty good run last week, it makes me think that the powers that be and the masters of the universe, the hedge fund managers and so forth, are out there moving money out of good stuff and into this junk, and then tomorrow they're just going to move it out of this junk and into something better. And what you end up with is the best companies still continuing to accrete, and this is still a bull market with a lot of people continuing to invest in the big names, big caps that are doing well. So today, Moderna took a huge hit, almost 7%, still over 400 a share. The resilience on them kind of stopped around 420 right there is where they were hanging out. You know what that means? Tomorrow, don't exit page, let's wait. That means that tomorrow you want to get in on Moderna because they're probably going to have a good day after a down day like today. There was some news about potentially COVID booster shots not necessarily being as important as one might think. It doesn't matter. They got vaccines for everything coming out, and it's pioneering technology, so you can always just count on them. That's why I have their targets so high up at 750. It's a slower burn to let the rest of the world kind of realize what's going on, because not everybody is a molecular biologist. I'm not a molecular biologist either, but I have certainly taken a dive in to understand what they're doing and how it works, and why not only the potential but the results that they have already been able to show with what they're doing. And then there's just a world of potential after that one can speculate about, which is why this price is so high. Next thing on the list, of course, is Tesla. And we're going to show all these stocks over here in this other sheet where we get a lot more information about the day, about how much was traded. Like, it was a very heavy trading day comparative to all the stocks we cover for Tesla and Moderna. Two of the stocks I really, really like a lot. Tesla fought back after being down like 15, almost 20 bucks a share, I think, at one point today. Fights back and gets up. They're just, it's always really just earth-shattering news that comes out of them, and I can't wait. I'm getting my Tesla before the end of the year. Mark my words, that is happening. And we all should just make this migration to and servicing energy the way that they service it with electricity. So Google recovered today after some bad news last week about potentially violating labor laws or hiring people not necessarily consistent with certain national labor laws where they're hiring people overseas. They're recovering from that. That's a problem a lot of companies have. I don't think it's necessarily going to do too much. It certainly seemed like they responded today, going back up 1%. So I still expect them to creep all the way back up to 3,000, or up to 3,000 for the first time, but go past it as well. Sherwin-Williams, because Sherwin-Williams paints the world. Talked about them a lot. Walmart's another one today that I see them dropping, and I was in a Walmart today. I actually did some shopping in a Walmart today, and I can tell you I had to wear a mask. There's a mask mandate in North Carolina here, the state I'm in today. And It was enforced, and it wasn't anything nasty or mean. It was just they were enforcing it, and everyone was wearing it. And it reminded me that Walmart, if they're doing that at that store here in North Carolina, they are complying with laws. They're on top of their game and everything. I heard 3 people on the way out of there talk about how much cheaper it is to purchase groceries there as opposed to other grocery stores while we were in line. They just know how to do it. I still think they're undervalued, and I still think they get to 150 reasonably soon. They haven't realized the larger percentage gains that some of these other companies that really will swing a lot, like Moderna, like Tesla, like all the ones above it, really. But they're just a really solid play because Walmart's defined towns, and there's just something about physically a Walmart being somewhere and having everything at the lowest price possible that makes it the best business model in the history of business models. Next, we got Brooks Automation that went up a little bit today. Oh, by the way, last week I talked about purchasing a Brooks Automation option for $125, which I did. Today, I sold that option for $150. It had gone up as much to almost as $175, I think I saw it at a little bit on Friday. Today, it went up to $150, and I thought, should I take this $25? It's about a 20% profit, I think, on that option in 3 days, 4 or 5 days, something like that. And I did. Not for any real reason other than I wanted to kind of balance out my cash and investment portfolio. I like to keep it at 50-50, 50% in options and 50% in cash. And I was doing a lot of trading today, and I saw it up. And when you can make something like 20% on an option in a couple days, sometimes it's not a bad idea just to take the profit, and so that's what I did. But especially if they continue or do drop it all in the future, this is a great company for the chip shortage right now. So just because I sold their option doesn't mean I still don't like them or purchase more in the future. Abbott Labs went down today. I took an opportunity to pick up some of them today because the need for rapid testing is kind of part of getting out of this mess that we're in with the COVID situation. Rapid testing is going to help us kind of like, as you walk through, as you go to school or as you go to, there's these little minute tests that you can do that are not that expensive. Abbott Labs is going to have just basically unlimited demand. I think the articles I saw today or the news about Abbott Labs was related to supply chain stresses because there's so much demand for a rapid test product. So I expect them to go back up, and the option I purchased on them when they were down even more than 1.5% today is already up almost 20% as well. So they're probably still going to go back on the upswing tomorrow. Netflix, Netflix is a much more solid company than I thought. I talked about it a bit last week, and I see them getting over 600. So you've got a little bit of value in there right now as they sit below about $10 a share below, but expect them to go over 600 again relatively very soon, probably. FICO has dropped for some reason. I didn't do any research on FICO today. I'll find out why that happened, but they're hitting below my range now, which means that they're buyable. So I'll have to do a little research and give you more information on that. Amazon's still hanging around right below 3,500, which is where I think they're going to go and settle around for a little while. Microsoft up a little. This could really be raised to 310 for Microsoft. They will come out of that. Dollar Tree went down. I picked some of that up today. But anyway, so for those of you who subscribe or want access to this file, everyone's got access. And if you want me to add different stocks that you do not see on here, I frequently delete stocks off here that I know I would not want to invest in, and I just remove them from the list. But if you have something you want me to add and research, I would like to have as complete a list as possible within reason, and I certainly will be willing to do that. So anyway, if you do one thing tomorrow, I would say keep an eye on Moderna, given that they had such a big drop today, and they're my favorite stock, number one, right on here, at 56% of their target price. So that's probably a good thing to look at tomorrow. I don't know if Tesla will have as good of a day tomorrow, but I don't know that they're seeing some strength. And Google, catching them below 2,900, and of course always Sherwin-Williams. That's the update here for the day. It's a gorgeous night here in North Carolina, Wilmington, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another update. And may all your trades be winning.